Welcome back to the Even If podcast. I'm Kinsey.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we are talking about faith in a digital world, boundaries and discernment in an online life.
Social media, baby.
Social media.
We hate it. We love it.
We hate it. We love it. No, truly though, like I have such a mixed relationship with social media. I love it so much because I love the way that it has allowed for me to meet some of my most favorite people and connect and feel purposeful and share the gospel. And then other times where I'm just like, why am I on this thing so much?
Literally, same. I feel like we talk about it a lot of just there's days that it's so good and it's great connection, and I can't imagine not, because of the people we've met through it, and whether it's relationally and dating relationships or friendships or job opportunities. Literally, the job I have right now is because of somebody on Instagram that I met.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
and
so cool.
I got a job from it.
Yeah,
and then also sometimes I'm just like, I could do away with this. Forever. And I wish life was like the 90s.
Okay, I was just about to say that because you on social media reposted this reel about like if you grew up in the 90s, and I was thinking about this because I'm sure you were exactly the same. So when I grew up in Calgary, Canada, and my brother and I would get home from school and we had to do our homework, and our reward for doing our homework was to go play outside. And it was basketball. We'd go down to the park and play hockey and like all these things, and then my mom had a whistle. And the rule was she would whistle really loud, and we had 5 minutes to get home.
I love that.
And it was
like a dinner bell.
It was a dinner bell.
Yeah.
And it was we grew up in the city. I mean, it was in a really like, a metro area, but we were outside all the time. And then on the weekends we were skiing and up in the mountains. And so we were just not online.
Yeah, just a different time.
Yeah, we didn't even watch TV.
Yeah, I reposted it on my story. And then do you know how like, I sound like a grandma.
No, girl, you're talking about grandma.
Instagram has this new like repost thing. Like, when you look at somebody's feed, it has like their posts, their reels, and then like a repost.
I accidentally did a makeup one, like a makeup thing.
I had accidentally reposted people's. It's in an inconvenient spot.
It's
I don't know where it is, but I even had a guy text me.
Oh no.
He was like, hey, I just reposted a picture of you on my feed. I don't know how that happened, but I undid it. But I just want to tell you in case you got the notification.
It's amazing.
I was like, I don't even know what that means.
Kudos
You're fine,
to
brother.
that guy. That's
I
funny
know
to tell you.
But I reposted on my feed, so if y'all haven't seen it, it's on there. And
yeah,
it
go
is
to her
so
profile
sweet.
and see it.
It's like,
so
if you were born in the 80s or 90s, you were part of this generation who like remembers what it was like before. And so now we live for this nostalgia of what we knew it was, but we're also trying to figure out how to be in this present time where it's like kids younger than us. Like a lot of them just grew up with it. It's what they know.
They don't know any different.
But like we know what it was like to ride our bikes around the neighborhood till who know when.
Yep.
And like who know when.
Hey, I'm tracking.
We always track.
We record on Fridays, everyone, so it's always at the end of the week. So if that's why I have seizures and stutter and snort while I'm recording.
But it makes it fun.
It makes it so fun.
It's the highlight of the week.
It really is. Speaking of highlight, should we do high and low of the week?
Oh,
How
gosh,
are you
we can.
doing?
This is my only highlight because it was a sad week. I'm kidding. Okay, you guys. I wish we did full video on this because whoops, I hit my microphone. I wish we did full videos because I'm holding what Kenzie called a Valentine's Day gift for no reason except for she just brought me in Red Hots, cinnamon flavored candies, and a box of Chomps. The way to my heart, because I was crying last night.
No, I got you.
And she walks in and says, "Happy Valentine's Day." It's not Valentine's Day.
I literally meant to say Halloween, but I said Valentine's Day, and I was kind of like, "You are my Valentine."
Also, like, not
You're my
Halloween.
husband.
I don't know. Like, this
it's
isn't
not.
Halloween. Like, you don't get gifts on Halloween.
I know. I don't know what's going on, really.
I don't know, but I'm going to eat these Red Hots.
Yeah,
and eat them
please
right
do.
Now. Because, I was crying because I was sad about being single.
Oh.
Which is just the reality
Welcome to the life of,
this,
it's the reality.
There's times where it's great and easy, and you guys, we'll have to share on our profile on our social media or something, but I was on another podcast talking about singleness, and it's my friend Claudia McDivitt. Y'all will have to listen to her podcast too. It's amazing, what she shares, and she does health and wellness stuff too, talking about stuff for busy moms. But she asked me to share like what singleness is like at the holidays, and it's coming out in a few weeks, but I felt so confident talking about it. Like, I know what it's like. I've done it well. I've done it bad. Like, I want to share my experience in that. And I did. And then the next day I was just like attacked by the enemy, just telling like having all these thoughts of, I'm never going to have that. I'm so far behind. And just reminders of my friends that are engaged and having babies and all these things that are exciting. And I'm genuinely excited for them. And also somehow it all hit on this one day of just disappointment, feeling like I just talked about how I'm okay at the holidays. And now I'm like thinking about the holidays and I'm actually really sad. And
I get that.
I can't believe I'm still single and I'm 33 and just all those thoughts and it comes and goes. And I think you and I are here to encourage. And honestly, I think why this day is such a encouraging highlight of my week is because you and I just get to chit chat here like we do all the time off mic of just encouraging each other and talking about the truth and reminding each other of God's word. And that's why I hope that anyone who's listening, it is a reminder that like we want y'all to be encouraged, but it's okay to have sad days because we do have a lot of sad days off mic.
We do. Yep.
And we don't always share them. But I'm just here to share it.
I'm proud of you for sharing that.
My Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I love you. I'm so proud of you for sharing that because it's just real. Like it's actually, I this morning I was praying in my journal. I write out all my prayers in my journal, which
Did you hear that?
I don't crack a tooth.
I just crunched it.
You crunched it? Did you know that I chipped my tooth? Did I tell you this?
You did tell me that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay. We're not going to talk about my tooth
to chew
this
it.
episode.
I'm going to suck it.
You can suck.
Okay.
We're 12. We're 12 years old. Okay.
No.
Anyways, I'm going to keep going. I'm sweating. Okay. So I was praying this morning to Jesus. And I asked this morning for a God wink because I was like, Lord, like, you know, I feel like I'm either in the valley or I'm in the mountaintops. And then I think about that middle ground, you know, it's like that becoming ground. We talk about this all the time where it's never about the outcome and we have to take focus off the outcome, but it's part of the journey. Yeah. And I'm kind of spiritually, I'm out of the valley that we talked about in the first episode back, but now I'm kind of like, okay, I'm just in the rhythm of my life. And end of month as a business owner is just stressful at times. And so I'm just like, I was in spreadsheets all week and was just stressed out. And then was praying. I was like, Lord, can you just give me like a like some sort of wink? Because last night I was at my Bible study getting your voice memo, and I was with all my girls, and there's like 7 of us. And all the single gals were gone except for me. And so I was with 3 mamas and me, and we were talking about like births and vaginas and just like all these things. And I was just like, this is so interesting. And they're like genuinely like, it's so, the body's crazy. The woman, the female body, if you don't believe in the Lord, just talk to a pregnant woman and you'll be so convinced because just what the female body does. And we're sitting there for like a good 45 minutes to an hour, which I love these kinds of conversations. I love these women so deeply, but I'm also just like, wow, I'm so not in this season of life. So anyways, I got up the next morning. I was just like, Lord, just give me like, I really could just use like a wink or a hug or whatever. And I've had a like kind of stressful week with work and I go to teach a class and I teach the noon class and there's a few people kind of lingering, which happens. They want to talk to me about, you know, whatever. Yeah. And there's this guy that's lingering and I'm like, oh no, I think he's going to ask me out. Like, I'm kind of nervous. Like I'm going to say no if he does because I'm not interested or whatever. A really nice guy. He's a good looking guy, but like, it's just, it's a no for me. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I was so humbled because he didn't want to ask me out. He just wanted to encourage me. And I was like, and because I talk about word of the month in class. This is a really long story that I'm making. This is a short story that I'm making way too long. Okay. But he was waiting and like he waited a long time. And I was like okay, is this guy? I don't know what's going to happen. And then he was like, hey, what's your word of the month? And I was like, oh, he's like, because we talked about this last month. Like, what's your word of the month for this month? And I was like, I honestly don't know. My one was childlike faith last time, and he told me about his. And then he's like, I had a baby 6 weeks ago, and I'm a dad now. And so this is why I chose this word. And then immediately I was like, oh, he's not here to ask me out. He's here to talk to me about like his word of the month. And then he mentioned his fiance because I asked and because I'm nosy. And so anyways, the gist of it is he starts encouraging me in what I do. And he was like, I just want to tell you that like, you're going to crush it as a mom one day. Oh. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, thank you. He's like, do you want to be a mom one day? And I was like, yes, I do. He's like, you're going to crush it. I know you'll crush it being a mom.
So
and
true.
He was
really
just
are.
like, he's like, when you say these things in class, like I just started going back to church and like, I was like, it's all the Lord,
Praise
everything
the
that I say. He's like, that must be why I really feel it. Cause like, I don't feel this in other classes. Like, And so I forget the whole reason why I was telling you this story, but that was okay. That was kind of like highs and lows. So that was the high of my week up until this point. But it was just like, also want to encourage our listeners, like, pray for God winks. Because sometimes I pray and like nothing happens, and I'm like, okay, Lord, like I get it. I know you're here, but these winks or these hugs. But I'm always on a hunt. You've taught me this. I'm always on a hunt for evidence. I'm always on a hunt for like, I want to be the kind of woman that sees God in everything. And so it was really cool to be humbled by that man not asking me out on a date.
He has a fiance.
He has a fiance and a baby, and he just wanted to encourage me. And it was so, and immediately I'm like feeling so much more comfortable. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have to like tell you no. But
I love that.
Anyways, so I'm gonna have one of these.
Yeah.
Are they hot?
Yeah, they're good.
I don't really like hot.
No, it's not that hot. Okay. Sorry, guys. We took a little break because we were eating Red Hots.
They're so spicy.
We talked about our weekend, and then we just got offline for a second to talk about the Red Hots, and they're spilled over the table now.
There we go.
Okay, but jumping into today's episode, Faith in a Digital World. I think just talking about tech, all this stuff in general, we have like a list of things I think we've shared with y'all of topics, and we add them when y'all give us suggestions. And then just kind of as the Lord prompts us and what we're going through, we'll look at our list and be like, this is this one for this week. And so I went to the mountains last weekend, and you guys, I turned off my phone the entire weekend. And I could not tell you the last time I'd done that. And maybe that's dramatic for me to say.
No, it's not at all.
But it was amazing. And I don't know. I just think we don't turn our phones off, or at least I don't. I don't turn my phone off for days at a time intentionally. It's happened actually to me more times than I would like to admit, just because I keep breaking phones and then I don't have them for a while. But that's another story. That happened like the past 2 years. I think I've done it once a year. So I left on Friday to go to the mountains, turned it off on the drive there, had it off the whole time, Saturday, Sunday, and didn't turn it back on until I needed directions to drive back home. And it was so refreshing. And I'm not even on my phone that much during the day. Like,
yeah, you're not.
I'm at work, I'm working a gym, I'm lifting weights, I'm interacting with students. Like, I'm not on it a ton. And then I have coaching, I'm doing one-on-one coaching, my phone's off. And then if I'm around friends or family, I'm just not on it in the moment. But I think what I've realized, my weakness in time that will just drown me in it is mornings and nights. So I wake up in the morning, and I'm pretty good at like getting up, and I have a routine. As far as like schedule, I'm on schedule, but I'm not always doing what I should be doing. Like, a huge thing that I have struggled with is during my quiet time, I sit down, I light my candle. It's 5 a.m. I have my Bible open. I have my journal. I start reading, and I'll tell you what, I always start off good. But the second my mind goes somewhere, which sometimes it's 5 seconds into me sitting down, I start thinking about something. I grab my phone to check it, and I'm on my phone. And the next thing I'm on Instagram, and the next thing it's been 20 minutes, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be reading my Bible. And why am I on my phone? And so I noticed waking up at the mountains, and literally my first thing was I'd wake up, and we went outside, and I was with one of my girlfriends, and we went outside and we made a bonfire and like would read our Bible by the fire.
Wow. Dream.
And make coffee. And I didn't have my phone. And I just thought my first thing I'm doing is truly reading the word.
Wow.
And then the other day I think got up early for a hike. And so she woke me up because we went before to go watch the sunrise, and just waking up and getting ready and getting stuff and heading out the door. It just was like, you're not checking anything. You're not worried about anything. You're just there.
Yeah.
And then at night, I feel like it's so easy to just doom scroll and catch up on things and then look, and that takes, it just, time flies by, you know? And so I think another thing I realized is I was reading at night at the mountains. I would read at night, and I don't read as much.
Yeah. Same.
So I think what I learned from that was I need to figure out how to make that. I can't turn my phone off every weekend because I typically have things going on, but I can take time away from it, and I can set better boundaries. And so I feel like when I saw this faith in a digital world, faith in social media, just how do we navigate all of this? I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And then when I told you, you were like, yeah, I feel like we have a lot, because I know that for you can speak on this, running a business, and your business takes a lot of social media. Like, what's that like for you?
It's a tension that I'm constantly managing, because we rely on social media. I don't love to spend a lot of money on marketing. It's expensive, and it's not the the reward from the money that it costs, like what you see, is not the analytics that we've done over the years has just never really been worth it to me, especially when the majority of our clientele is, from friends of friends. And so we rely on social media. It's free. It's really effective. And a lot of, especially when you run a small business, and especially I think if you're so super involved in your business and it's a experience that you're offering, people want to know about the founder's story. I look up to Ty Haney, who's founded Outdoor Voices. There's certain people that I look up to that have created a brand, and the way that they've done that and succeeded with their brand is the founder's story. And so there's been this pressure, whether it's actual pressure, which I think it is, and also self-induced pressure of being relatable and being online to tell the story. And so I have felt that pressure with Full Ride, and we've seen a ton of success from just social media, from people understanding, who I am as a business owner, but also who I am as a leader, who I am as an instructor. People are on their phones constantly, and so they're looking up, okay, what's the trending, not only workout, but studio in the city. We get a ton of people that are visiting from out of town, and we're right in that really cool touristy part of Nashville. So people look at our social media, and then they look at, okay, well, who teaches at Full Ride? And they look up our instructors. And
so they're not only looking at Full Ride's page, but they're looking at the instructors page too.
Yeah, because it's such an instructor-based workout. You are performing. Yeah. I put on a mic and I am completely different for 45 minutes, and I'm on no matter what kind of day I'm having. And so I have definitely felt the pressures of that, and have always wondered, if I was in a different line of work, would I even have social media? Because I feel so in a very unhealthy way, which is why I love that we're talking about this right now. I feel naturally I will open up my phone and I'll just hit the Instagram button. I'm like, why am I even going on here? I don't need to be on here right now. But I don't have notifications on Instagram, and I usually have my phone most of the day on Do Not Disturb, because I'm either teaching or I'm in meetings and I don't want it to go off. But then if I'm available, I have my DND off. But I feel like I am way more online than I think I need to be. But I think I believe this lie that if I'm not on it and I'm not relatable and I'm not continually monitoring the competition and seeing what other people are doing and getting creative and innovative, then I'm going to somehow Full Ride will fall behind. And so, it's a tension that is something that I think I will, as long as I'm the owner of Full Ride, I will have to manage, because I don't think I have the luxury of being off completely. But I definitely think I need stronger boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's going to probably sum up this whole episode is just what are the boundaries? Because you're right. Obviously, like you just said, it allows for connection. People are finding out about Full Ride, and Full Ride is such a community, and girls feel so connected, and that's a great thing that they do. Then they relate to you. And I know you and your classes are just preaching the gospel and just talking and encouraging women. And so they're looking for that connection. And if they didn't have that on social media, you pay for what? For marketing, but marketing would probably still come through social media, right? Maybe a billboard, but if not, that's just the day and age we live in.
It is.
And I think that's what's so hard. Cause going back to that post of that video of the nostalgia we long for back in the day, it's just not there anymore. We're not watching commercials. We're not reading the newspaper. We're not listening to radio. We're on Spotify, on the go, on our phones is majority of this culture. And so how do we got to figure out what that looks like. And I think, we can look for our validation, our success, all of that through social media. And I think, like it says in Galatians 1:10, am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? And I think that is a great question we ask when we're posting, when we're doing stuff. Am I seeking the approval as I'm doing this for man, or is it for God? And can everything I do, maybe that's a question, can everything we post on social media glorify God?
Yes.
Okay. So if
I said that without even thinking, it should.
Shouldn't everything?
Everything we should do should.
Everything we should do as believers, if we
should glorify the Lord.
Everything we do should be to glorify the Lord. That should be our goal, right?
Yep.
Even social media.
Yep.
And our work and our play, everything we do should be. And so, if I'm posting something, am I doing this for man, for likes, right? Like it says in Galatians, am I doing this for man's approval, for them to be I like this post? Or am I okay if I get 3 likes, but I know that it's from my heart and it's something that I feel the Lord has called me to share?
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, it's even today I was convicted because I would love your thoughts on this too. I don't ever think about being in a sports bra. It's like, I grew up on the lake. You're in a swimsuit. It's not a big deal at all. But a lot of my like professional photos, and when we do team shoots, it's in sports bras because when you spin, you sweat so much. So like every girl wears a sports bra, most of them.
Yeah.
And I'm a leader. I'm a woman. I'm a godly woman. I was like, that picture is, I'm in a sports bra. You can see my stomach. Like you can and I don't want to be so legalistic. Like don't post a photo of you in a sports bra. It's also part of my brand. Like as weird as that sounds, like it is part of like, okay, I am a fitness trainer too. Yeah. So like, it's also marketing of like, hey, yeah, like this is like I spin all the time and like I've worked really hard to be in the shape that I'm in. And so I don't post it to show my stomach. That's never it. But I was like, my abs.
You have abs
on a good day.
Your abs, no.
But I think those are conversations. I love you. Those are conversations that, we don't even have to have right now. But I think those are things that I even look at that. I'm like, okay, this morning I posted that because I had a few spots left in my class and I like to always just throw it up and then do a link and it helps to fill the room and whatever. And people last minute book and it helps. But I like to post full ride photos and most of the full ride photos I have are of us in sports bras. And so I even think that
that is a great conversation though.
Yeah.
I think that's such a good question. I think it's something you go to the Lord in because you're right. I mean, you see fitness brands out there. They're typically, you go into like fitness stores and it's somebody with their shirt off or a sports bra because you're working out, you're fit. Like that's the motivation.
Yeah.
I get that. I was even talking to some of my girlfriends the other day and, I work at a school with a weight room and I was telling them something about how I love to have another gym membership though. They're like, wow, you already have one, like where you can work out for free anytime. I was like, yeah, but I like to take my shirt off. They're like, you take your shirt off? I was like,
that's what we do.
I was like, when I'm like working out hard, I'm drenched in sweat. Yeah. And I don't want to be wearing a t-shirt.
That's exactly how I am.
But I'm not wearing like a skimpy sports bra. Like I am wearing like a training bra.
Yeah. Like I literally have such, like I'm so prudish in that way of like, I only wear the Nike because Nike comes up high enough where I don't feel, cause I'm leaning over on stage. Right. So then like people can literally, if my sports bra is too low cut, you can basically see cleavage. And I'm like, I'm not going to be that girl. Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's, it's like you said, it's not like a skimpy sports bra. But but we're ex-athletes too. So it's just, I have never had to really think that way. But I think like even just reading that verse of just like in Galatians, what you just read. And I was thinking about that today. And I just like, my heart posture is not to be like, look at how hot my body is. It's like, this is my brand. This is my studio. I work really, really hard physically. And also like, it's also of me and two other girls. And so it was like, we are all teaching today on a Friday. So it was just like, here's the class schedule. Right. But I think it's just good to be aware of like, my heart is never to post something skimpy, but also if I ever post something, it's not because I'm trying to show off.
Right. Right. I think those are good.
But I think those are just
I don't
things
think
to
it's
think about.
Right or wrong. I think it's praying about what is your heart posture on it.
Yeah.
There's some people that feel only called to, like, I've seen this on Instagram before, like baggy sweatshirts and baggy sweatpants when I work out because I'm glorifying the Lord. And I'm like, I would die.
I would die of heat. I would literally die.
Die.
I'm like, I can't wear sweatpants when I'm on a bike. Yeah. Like that's not going to work.
Sometimes even leggings in the sun. If I'm on a run, I'm not wearing leggings. I'm wearing shorts.
It's 95 degrees out here.
And so I think there's just, what are our intentions and what are we doing? And I don't think it's a one size fits all. And all of our bodies are built differently too. That I think there's different things that I remember. I mean, this is a whole nother conversation, but just like, I've got a donkey donk, Like,
I wish I had a donkey donk.
You've got a perfect body. But I just think like there's certain things that I can't wear because it accentuates it or it's, I don't know. I've learned that it's not a big deal to me, but maybe it is. I remember posting a picture one time. I was in Hawaii and I was in a one piece and I was in this bamboo jungle. And I remember posting a picture. My friend took it of me. I'm like turned around looking at her smiling. So it's kind of like from the side, like a me turn around sideways kind of thing. And I remember my mom texted me and just was like, hey, you have such a beautiful body, but I can see it all. I was like, it's a one piece. Yeah. She's like, it's your butt. Like you can see it all. And so I just realized, good
for mom for,
I think that some people can post other things that, we're all built different. And then I think also what's our heart posture behind it? And are we going for the attention? Are we going for?
Totally.
what?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's,
we could do a whole episode in and of itself
modesty,
on that conversation.
That's all important. What about, okay, let's talk about time boundaries. Like how do you make time boundaries? Because we can't just go to the mountains every weekend.
Oh, I wish. I wish.
But what does that look like? I know you've talked about Sunday Sabbaths before.
Yeah, there was a season, which honestly I need to get back into it. And Sundays, this is the thing though, I always find an excuse or a reason to be like, well, our schedule goes live Sundays at 5. And so I always post my schedule for the week every Sunday, because usually people are like looking at their planners and they're trying to plan out their workouts. So I have my team. It's a requirement every month. Everyone has to post their schedule, either anytime Sunday or Monday morning. And so there was a season though where I was Sabbathing on Sundays and there was no social media on Sundays. And I haven't done that in a long time. I think time boundaries and Sabbathing often and regularly, social media is fantastic. That's like the ideal, because then I think you're cleansing yourself, you're fasting from it, and you're not, building in and feeding into the addiction of like just this constant, like, what are other people doing?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so when I was just Sabbathing on Sundays, my brain just slowed down. I felt like my nervous system slowed down. I find even now, I think I'm in the peak, whatever, of just being online right now. And I'm feeling conviction.
Like you're just on it a lot.
I'm on it a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm on it a lot because there's a lot of fun things happening. And I when I say I'm on it, I usually am just on it to post. I will look at people's stories, but I don't scroll on the grid. I've been feeling conviction about like the amount of time that I'm spending online, how much I'm sharing about my life. Do I need to be sharing about my life? I genuinely love the creativity of it. And I do love sharing like my dogs. And like, I just think it's a fun way to live. Like, I think it's fun. I don't feel like I'm on there for necessarily bad reasons, but I do think sometimes I'm like, what's my intention here? Like, am I posting this because like, why am I posting this? Do I need to post this? And I think sometimes I overthink it. And then I just don't post it, which I'd rather err on the side of not posting than posting. But I think part of why I really wanted to talk about this was the conviction that I'm having is I'm trying to discern, is it a conviction from the Lord or is it the enemy trying to tell me to stop? Because I talk so much about Jesus and like we share our podcast and like, so part of me is like, I would love to just get off of it completely for a little while. But then I have to work and share my schedule, and like, do I think my business would fail if I'm not posting? No. But there's a level of like, part of my job is being online. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And that's probably also not a one size fits all, because it's like the digital tech world. Like, it's not evil. It's actually been really helpful as life has gone on, but it's just like a neutral thing. It's how are you using it? Are you using it for good? Are you using it for bad? And like, if you're feeling that conviction of, man, I'm on it a lot, pay attention. Maybe it's because the Lord's like, Kinsey, I'm trying to show you something and you're not paying attention because your head's down in your phone.
Totally.
And who knows who's right in front of you or what's right in front of you.
Totally.
Or the park you should be going to, but instead you're on your phone or, whatever it is. And thinking about, but also, is it the enemy? Because I think he does attack us in things that we're doing. And you do share a lot about Jesus and people, like, you've showed me messages that people have sent you that has encouraged them in their faith and through social media, which is crazy. But also, again, if we have a free marketing platform to tell people about Jesus,
we're going to do it.
Why not?
Yes.
And
it encourages me. It makes me think that what I'm doing is like, okay, I'm sitting right where God wants me. So it's such a double-edged sword. But I think as far as time boundary goes, I think Sabbath from your screens. I don't have my notifications on for Instagram or any like social media. I don't even have my email or Slack. Like, nothing pops up, so I'm not distracted. The only thing that pops up are phone calls, FaceTimes, and text messages. So I think that that's a great way to censor and like have a certain type of time boundary. And then I think just like regular fasting from social media, whether that's a 6-hour period or a day period or a couple days every few weeks, I think that could be really beneficial. And that's something that I want to start implementing again. And I did it before and I want to start doing it again.
And it's possible. I think it is possible because I think you say 6 hours and some people are probably like, I don't check my phone for 6 hours. Like, sometimes I'm like that at the work day. I'm like, I haven't touched my phone in 6 hours.
But I'm on my phone a lot for work.
If you're on it for work, it is possible. But how can you do 6 hours? Well, if you know you have a day off or you have a class that you're teaching and it's at 8 a.m. and then you don't have anything till 5 a.m. Could you do a 3-hour fast in between and a 3-hour fast at night? You know, it's like, it is possible. I think I don't know if there's people out there, and if so, y'all can call us out and correct me. I don't think there's people that are on their phone 24/7, right?
No,
like
well,
you got to sleep, you got to have something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so how are we, and even if you're on it for work, what are things we can do to help us still be present in this world, to still be eyes up and not totally just like locked into that. And it says that in Psalms, I keep my eyes always on the Lord. Like, how do we keep our eyes on him? And this morning I was reading in Romans 12 and talking about, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
Yep.
And thinking about, I don't want to be conformed to this world. And it is so daggum easy. Like I'll get on there and I'm telling you things that I've experienced this week that were sad for me. And it's from my personal friendships, like of personal things that are going on that are all really good things. And I know their heart, and I know I'm genuinely excited that my friend's getting engaged. I'm genuinely excited that my friend's having a baby, like because I know them. But then they're online and I'm seeing people who I don't even know. Yeah. And they look like they're in love and they're dancing in a field. And I'm like with this house on 100 acres and I'm envious of that. And I don't even know who they are.
Yeah. No idea their story.
And so I think how can we protect our heart on that? Yeah. And something I did a while ago is I try to not follow people I don't know. Yep. I think for one, I end up creating this narrative about them that's probably not true. Yep. And then also I just feel weird that I think I know somebody and I actually don't. Like I'll follow some famous people like Candace Owens or news people, right, that I'm learned from. But I feel like if it's a person that I'm maybe like 1 degree away from but don't know, I don't like following them, because then I feel like
you know them.
I know them and then I don't.
You don't.
And then people are, and then I would rather meet you in person, talk to you, have a conversation. And then if we want to follow each other on social media after,
then you can.
We can.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't always do that, but I think that's something that I've realized.
That's a great boundary. Because I will say, I feel like you and I are incredibly authentic. Like I even post I posted myself snorting on a podcast. Like I just like weird stuff. Like I'm very who I am when you meet me, but there's so much more to me than what you follow online.
Oh yeah. Always.
And like, so I just want to say that like whoever is listening to this, like what you see is not what you get fully, because like even anywhere. People that are authentic, like I really am proud of myself for being authentic on social media as much as I can. I'm not going to like start crying on my Instagram story, but, just remember that a tiny, tiny sliver of that person's story and that person's heart, but you don't know the full story. And so just the comparison piece of social media can be just absolutely despairing for people. And it's usually their own mind creating, like you were saying, like we create these narratives and then we're hurting ourselves because we're creating a story that we don't even know is true. Right. And we're comparing ourselves to somebody's life that we don't even know. Right. We don't know the battles that they face. We don't know the demons that they fight against, and we all have them. And so I'm on Instagram a lot for my job, and I am very authentic in what I post. And I'm even telling you, like, if you follow me, but you've never met me, you don't know me. And I think that's really important for people to know, because take away the social media, take away the screens, take away the online life. Like if they all just combusted tomorrow, which I kind of would love. It's like, who are you? Yeah. When you're not behind a screen. Yeah. And you don't know the people that you follow unless you know them in real time and you're doing daily life with them. Yeah. So don't compare yourself
just to
someone else's highlight reel.
Yeah. And I do think it makes it hard at times to discern God's voice, because it gets so noisy. I remember hearing somebody tell me one time, like, we are not designed to take in as much as we see. Like I'm looking at my phone literally, and I'm seeing a birth, and then I'm seeing a death, and then I'm seeing an engagement, and then I'm seeing friends at a party that I'm not at. And then and it's like my brain just took all that in 10 seconds. Literally. If I just scroll through stories and it's like, we're not created that. We're supposed to, like, if I'm going to talk to you about a death, we're going to sit in it and you're going to tell me and I'm going to listen. I'm not going to read it for 5 seconds and scroll to the next slide.
Literally.
Like, that's not normal. No. And so I feel like ever since I heard that, I was just like, gosh, there really is, like, we have to protect ourselves. We have to fight. And then I think being aware of God's voice, it makes us so, this is a tangent for another day, but I think people are overly diagnosed with ADHD, but it's like, because we are 100%. It's the culture we live in. And so I could sit down and be like, well, not hearing God's voice, on to the next, because that's how quick stories are. That's how quick Instagram is. That's how quick digital world is. Good, and even TV and shows they're creating these days, they're creating it so we keep watching. And like, it's like creating our attention spans to be shorter. Yeah. So then how do I hear God's voice if I'm so used to getting everything fast and seeing things fast and hearing things fast? And I can put my podcast even at 0.25 2.5. And then I'm trying to listen to God. And I'm like, heard nothing. Okay, moving on. Next thing.
Oh, that's so good. And then we wonder why we have a distracted, just depressed generation.
Social media.
But you think about anything
Such a double-edged sword.
Yeah, like none of us, like I even think about, I can always tell when it's that time of month because I'm just not the nicest driver. Like I just kind of get a little bit like more frustrated. Like, come on, like I need you to drive faster. And I'm like, man, Ken's like, you have no right to just like be nasty behind the wheel. Like that's just that's not a good heart place to be. But it's this like impatience in me to get somewhere, as if I think I need to get there faster. And I think about that in life. And I think like if we are programmed and almost trained because of, like you were saying, stories, it's so good. Like you have a 60-second story and you know, if you watch the whole thing, like you must be a very patient person, but most people are just like clicking. So then we get into the real world, and anything that is worth waiting for is going to, you know, it's got to be worth it, right? Like you got to wait for it, and you got to steward it, and you got to wait with the Lord and on the Lord for it. But like nobody wants to wait. Nobody wants to be patient. People want it right now. And I think social media is a huge reason why we're like that, because we want it so quick. And I think that's even something that's convicting in my heart of like learning to be more patient and learning to wait with the Lord on things that are worth waiting for. But I think we're just not like that anymore, because everything that we want, from Uber Eats to, I can get this in 5 seconds. I can get that in 5 seconds. I can get validation here in 2 seconds. I can go do this in 5 seconds. And it's like, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to raise kids in a world like that. And if the world's going to not change, then I need to change.
Right. How are we set apart? And we're called to be set apart. And so if we're on social media, then how do we do it and still be set apart from the world? And it's like part of it. Okay, sure. Maybe if we're on it, we're talking about Jesus. And here's the deal. I am thankful for social media, because this podcast would not have gone anywhere without it. I mean, it's only spreading because of social media.
100%.
Like, the people we have met, the connections, like we've gotten messages from people,
life-changing messages. Yeah.
Because of social media. And so I'm so grateful for this community, and we dream of events and retreats and things we want to do with the Even If podcast, like community, that none of this could happen without social media. And so for that, I'm so grateful. And it's like, what are our intentions for when we post things? What would we think? Does this glorify God? Are we doing this for man, or to please man, or to please God? Am I conforming to the world, or am I being set apart? And how can we be, if we're choosing to be on social media, if we're on the digital stuff in the digital world, how can we still be different and not be consumed by it? And maybe we give a challenge this week, because I don't think God is calling us to disconnect from the world, right? I think he's calling us to be
mindful,
to be set apart from it, though. Be mindful, but
set apart.
Because I think just complete disconnection is not it. It's not like, as much as sometimes I say I want to just like
literally throw my phone in the
throw it and go
river
on a farm and not talk to anybody ever again. That's so also not true. But like, I think we can want that of like, I just want to do it and get away. But I don't think we're called to disconnect.
No,
we're called to be set apart within this world. And so what does that look like? And I think if we're on social media, how would you look at my page? And would you say she's a believer? Can you tell on my page I'm a believer? Can you tell that, or am I looking for attention? And I think those are good things. Maybe we should challenge our listeners, like challenge each other. Look at my page, and am I posting things for, like, what are my intentions for it? And there's nothing, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with posting pictures of you and friends or your dogs. I don't think that's bad, but what's your heart posture? It's fun connection. It's also can be a good way to meet people. We've both met guys online. But what's your heart posture?
What's your heart posture?
The Lord? Does it glorify God?
Yeah. And I think for me, like the thing that I'm kind of praying through right now and talking with friends about is just like, I think when I start to feel this like conviction of like, I don't really want to, then I can just like not post for a few days. It's not that big of a deal, and it doesn't have to be that deep, and then I can come back to it. You know, it's really not that deep. I also think as we head in, I noticed this, here I am going to talk about the weather. Because I'm 95 years old, but I have noticed the circadian rhythm.
Go on.
It changes when we move into fall. So if you think about like animals, they start to move slower. Some animals even hibernate. I notice my body in the fall and winter move a lot slower. And so with that, I also like to kind of take time off of social media a little bit more, and not fully, but just like, I don't know, maybe there's less for me to share. Maybe I have a less desire to share, and I kind of just ride that wave. And if I don't feel this conviction, or I don't feel like this is really going to help somebody, or, you know, whatever filter I'm going through to when I post something, you know, I kind of just go, okay, like maybe today I'm just not going to post anything, or tomorrow I'm not going to post anything. But you can kind of start to feel as the weather gets colder, things start to slow down. And then I think it's a beautiful thing to let your mind slow down. And so instead of like on a Sunday, you know, scrolling through your phone, maybe take a nap, maybe go for a walk, maybe pick up a book. Like, it's okay to let your body also fall into that rhythm as the world kind of slows down a little bit around the holidays. Good. So I enjoy the holidays for that reason, because it kind of just, I feel my body actually wanting to do that.
I love that. And maybe that's your conviction, and maybe that's your time to take a break, and whether it's for a week or for a day or whatever that looks like. I meant to bring in this book. There's this book called Every Moment Holy, and it has all these liturgies for just different seasons of life or different things you're going through. But there's one that's called A Liturgy Before Consuming Media. And y'all will just have to get the book and read it yourselves, because it's so beautiful. There's like so much that I could read from it, and I wanted to read the whole thing, but it's so long. So I'm just going to read this one part. It says, all truth is your truth, O Lord, and all beauty is your beauty. Therefore, use human expressions of celebration and longing as catalysts to draw my mind towards ever deeper insight, my imagination into new and wondering awe, and my heartbeat into closer rhythm with your own. And I think that, like, there's so much in this that's so beautiful. Shape my vision, Lord. Like, help me, Holy Spirit, that I may discern the difference between these stories that are whole, echoing the greater narrative of your redemption, and these that are bent or broken. And I think that is such a good perspective. Like, if we pray, I remember someone telling me that one time, like, pray before you go on social media, because half of it's fake. First of all, people can share whatever the heck they want. People are giving opinions and advice. And then we go in knowing, like, I might start judging. I might start comparing. I might start feeling sad. Like, there's all this, we are opening up the floodgates to that. And so inviting the Holy Spirit into that. And so this prayer, this liturgy is just so beautiful. Asking the Lord to come in to our hearts before consuming media. Good.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Protect you in that way.
Yeah.
That's so good. I love that.
Okay. So what's your challenge? What are you walking away from after this?
I'm going to start Sabbathing once a week. One day a week. No social media.
For a whole day?
For a whole day.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I start with half a day. Let's start with half a day. I think that will be a good challenge for me, because I do find myself on it way too much. Like, I'm just going to straight up call myself out. I am on it way more than I need to be. And it's just a crutch I think I've used to, like, think that it's going to keep my business being successful, when I think it's just like, Kenzie, do I not trust the Lord? He's got it, you know? Yeah. So I think half a day I'll just, like, be off of it.
That's good. Love it.
What's yours? You don't really need one. You're good about your phone, but what would you say for social media?
I think we could all get better. I feel like, I don't know that I'm going to have a set time on mine, but I need to do what I did last weekend more often. Like, just turn it off. If I have the ability, like, if I know I have nothing going on, like, I know that there are some Saturdays where my family all gets together. We walk in, we drop our purses and bags at the front of the door, and we are all in the house eating food, watching football, hanging out, playing outside. And it's not till it gets dark and I go back and I'm like, where's my phone? And I check it. And so
good.
I think I just need days like that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
you know, and so I think the days like the mountains, the days where I'm just Saturdays, being intentional about that.
I love the weekends for that reason.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
And then I do have a time limit on my Instagram. And then it says, do you want more time or 15 minutes or turn it off?
I always say
more time.
More time, so me too.
I will say, I think I've really worked on that I rarely get that popping up anymore.
Good for you.
But it does still sometimes. And every time it does, I'm never like, okay, you're right. I'm just like, no, I'm clearly on it for a reason.
More time. Away, more time.
So maybe I'll listen to that and just be like, you're right.
It's good. I love it.
So I don't know. I was actually doing that last night. I was on Instagram and it gave me the notification and I said only 15 more minutes because I'm looking at it. It was 8:45. I'm obviously in bed and it was like 15 more minutes. And I'm like, okay, that's 9:00. I'm sure I'll be off by then. And in 2 seconds, it was 9:00.
No, I'm telling you, it goes.
And I was like,
scary.
there's no chance it's been 15 minutes.
No, it's so scary. It's
like a black hole. Oh my gosh. And I said, okay, yeah, I'm done. And I just put my phone up. I was like, I got to go to bed.
I literally, have you heard of the AI Bible official Instagram profile?
No.
One of the girls in my Bible study last night was telling me about it. It's literally what the like Bible stories and like what it looked like AI version. It's so crazy.
Wow.
And I was up for 30 minutes in bed last night watching this profile of like AI Bible. Like it like shows like angels and what it would have looked like back then. And I'm like, this is so fascinating. And I thought it was 5 minutes with 30 minutes. I was like just looking at this.
But again, pros and cons. Like that story's amazing.
Yeah,
like,
so
people,
cool.
We should look that up and see that. And people are hearing about the Bible and Jesus because of social media and the digital world. And also, there goes 30 minutes of my life.
30 minutes of my life. I could have been in bed.
It was for good. All right. Well, let's challenge each other on that. Hold each other accountable. Y'all let us know what you're doing.
Oh yeah. Verse of the week.
Yes. Verse of the week. Okay. So we started this last week. If y'all missed last week's episode, we're going to start sharing a verse of the week. Kenzie and I are challenging each other on. I know we've been doing like word of the month and we have all these little challenges we're doing. So feel free to jump in on as many as you want or don't. But verse of the week this week is Romans 12:2, which we had talked about. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect.
Love. One of my favorites.
It is a longer one, but I think like I was telling my students this the other day because we were talking about memorizing scripture. And I think sometimes it's like when I try, we all memorize differently, but for me personally, what I realized is when I try to like think word for word, it gets me caught up. And I was even talking about that last week. Our verse was Matthew 16:24 and talking about, then Jesus said to, and I just like got clumsy, but I'm like, if I can actually take myself out of the situation and think about Jesus is here. And Jesus said to my disciples, if you want to be my disciple, deny yourself, take up your cross and follow me. Like you have to take, I feel like for me, the way I memorize is I'm picturing, why am I memorizing this? Why am I remembering this verse? And so this week's Romans 12:2, thinking about social media, do not be conformed. That's my prayer, right? Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed. How do I do it? By the renewal of my mind, that by testing, you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect.
So good.
Verse of the week.
Love it.
All right. Well, till next time.
And remember,
even if
he is still good.